let's turn now to the national president of the Zionist Organization of America, Mort Klein. Also with us, the distinguished university professor at Touro University, Newsmax contributor Thane Rosenbaum. Gentlemen, good to see you both. Thane, I'm going to start with you. Netanyahu, let's talk about who's truly responsible for this deal. He thanked both President Trump, President Biden in different ways. President Biden, he said, thanks for the assistance in advancing the hostages deal. President Trump, he said, thanks for bringing an end to the suffering of dozens of hostages and their family. Who was truly responsible for making this happen?
Well, Bob, clearly it's incoming President Trump. President Biden really had no leverage or credibility in the Israeli war cabinet. They were always worried that the ceasefire meant that Hamas would remain in control. And so that's one of the reasons why even Israel, despite the endless stalling by Hamas, Israel wasn't interested in negotiating either, in concluding a deal under the Biden administration, because the Biden foreign policy team is the same as the Obama foreign policy team, which are Iran apologists. But now, of course, the momentum changed dramatically. And I think President Bibi Netanyahu knew that he now has someone who recognizes not just the hope of a future Abraham Accords, but that this is a true democratic ally and that America had Israel's back, which gave Netanyahu more flexibility to say yes. On the other hand, yes, with conditions. There are prisoners and there are prisoners. And there are some prisoners that have way too much blood on their hand. And I'm sure that Netanyahu in the war cabinet, that's what the sticking point is, that they're looking for some terrorist that simply Israel can't release and never agreed to release.
Mort, what is your take on this? Do you agree with our previous guest, Major Spielman, who said ultimately the only way to move forward is to completely obliterate Hamas?
Of course, the Jews of southern Israel cannot survive with Hamas in power, because these are terrorists who for the last 20 years have launched 40,000 missiles at Israel to destroy Israel and to kill Jews. So it is critical to destroy Hamas. I am concerned that this deal allows 3,000 terrorists, Arab Islamic terrorists, to be released for only, at this point, 20 Israelis, and experts aren't sure if there are even more than 20 live Israelis left in captivity. And these terrorists, as history has shown, dozens of them go back to terrorism and end up killing Jews. By releasing these terrorists, we may end up killing more Israelis than we are saving. So this is really very problematic. When Israel gave away 1,000 terrorists for one Gilad Shalit, 40 of them became leaders of Hamas and ended up killing hundreds of Jews. In addition, this allows northern Gaza to be filled again with millions of Arabs, which means Israel will have a very tough time destroying the battalions of Hamas in northern Gaza. And more humanitarian aid is being demanded. The problem with more humanitarian aid is that Hamas steals almost all of it and sells it and gets funds for it. So it doesn't even go to the people who need it. And another issue is the Philadelphia corridor. This is the corridor between Gaza and Egypt. This is how the arms come into Gaza, through the Philadelphia corridor. Israel now controls this corridor, and it's not clear that Israel will continue to. There's rumors that Israel is going to agree ultimately to leave it. That would be a terrible, terrible mistake. Yeah. And by the way, your audience should know one further thing. The Arabs are in the streets by the thousands, cheering and dancing that they have victory over Israel. And Al-Hayat, the head of Hamas in Gaza, has said, this is a victory, and we're going to be doing more October 7th.
Well, we obviously know a new administration is coming in. President Trump calling the X factor maybe in all this, and some of that has been taken into account here. We will see. Mort, Thane, we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you both.
Thank you.